Creativity, fostering relationships through engaging with each other and exploring our world around us. This tends to be pretty interesting. Well, as you can see around me, I'm in a pretty familiar spot for many of us. Started our education journey in a preschool room just like one I'm sitting in right now. And here in preschool is where I had my first experience with creativity. I went to a preschool in the middle of California when we had all of the fires and everything going on with the craziness around us, so we didn't spend as much time outdoors as I did with the rest of my education. I went to a Montessori education school, and in that elementary school we spent a lot of time outside, so that was different from my typical preschool experience. Then as I went on throughout school, I started going towards more of your sports and less in my creative field. So unfortunately, I started to feel like I was outside of my creative classroom. And so as I continued down my journey of my education system, still trying to explore my creative aspects, well, I started to get myself involved in other things. So as I continued, I got involved in choir and in other performances, but I still kind of felt myself lost in my creative aspects. I spent a lot of time outside. I spent a lot of time engaging in more sport activities and entertaining myself that way. And the summer of my 6th grade year, I decided I was going to start filmmaking. So during these camps, I started filmmaking, and I would lead and act and direct, and I found myself behind the camera often. And I didn't give myself the time to express myself creatively out inside of like talking amongst people, and I didn't find my passion for interpersonal relationships just yet. But as I continued through my education system, with teaching and now with going to with school, I've decided that I really enjoy the interpersonal connections that creativity allows us to have. Because creativity is so important with your interpersonal relationships, I found myself using creativity in my day-to-day job. So now as I continue to work at a preschool like the thing you're seeing around me, I continue to use crafts and I continue to use paint and object lessons with my kids every single day. So like I was saying, I continued through my education, and after I continued to filmmake and continue to use these interpersonal relationships, I decided that I wanted to get more in front of people. So I decided to change my major and completely switch around and become a business major. And business majors tend to use creativity a lot more than I thought we would. So I started as an early childhood education major and completely flipped around to become a business major because I found myself enjoying the creative side of relationships. So creativity, we often think of sitting with finger paint, and we often think of where I started with preschools. But there's also a part of us that has the creativity of free-throwing critical thinking and ideas. And so that what led me to business. I loved the aspect of talking with people with sales and with different products and different things like that. But I've often found myself drained from needing more creativity. So this semester I'm excited to continue learning about different ways that I can draw creativity into a classroom and then let those kids experience creativity amongst themselves. And as we go, the creativity will continue to foster your relationships. A lot of my classes will talk about the difference between your inner voice and your written voice. And one voice that I'm going to talk about especially today is going to be our spoken voice. Where I find myself now is I'm on a stage where I get to continue to express my creativity in front of others. I find myself often talking with public speaking and different events to continue to use my creativity and use my spoken word to continue to encourage and build those interpersonal relationships that I've been talking about. Creativity to me is relational building through experiences that we can learn together. So whether that be you're in a preschool classroom where you can experience creativity through finger painting puppets, or you're in a situation at work that you need to come up with new ideas to solve new problems, or whether you're in a relationship with a friend that you solve problems using your own ideas and compromises. These are all ways that we can express creativity and we can show each other the benefit of the doubt. So in all, my name is Nate Robertson, and thank you for listening to my version of creativity.